For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens. For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live about the hard, colder than snow, dog. Sing. Yellow is the code, dog. Sing. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live about the reach the end of the road, dog. You don't believe now, make the people suffer. It's we for the people now, vote for the oppressor. Tighten your belts, all them are utter. But we can't let St. Lucia go out on the gutter. Kyle on the high and the streets get butter. Food prices rise, so we can't buy butter. Sing, treasure, man, sing, get them out quick, get them out quick. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party hard, colder than snow, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party reach the end of the road, dog. Man, you're the country gambler. Like a river follow you right after ya. But see if I win the pot for $1, then you buy Range Rover. And I know the hospital can't hand over. I know the hospital.
Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog.
Who you say?
Yellow is the code, dog.
Who you say?
Yellow is the code, dog.
Everybody.
Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog.
Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party hard, colder than snow, dog. Sing. Yellow is the code, dog. Sing. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party reach the end of the road, dog. You don't believe now, make the people suffer. It's we for the people now, vote for the oppressor. Tighten your belts, all them are utter. But we can't let St. Lucia go out on the gutter. Kyle on the high and the streets get butter. Food prices rise, so we can't buy butter. Sing, treasure, man, sing, get them out quick, get them out quick. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party hard, colder than snow, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Live a party reach the end of the road, dog. Man, you're the country gambler. Like a river follow you right after ya. But see if I win the pot for $1, then you buy Range Rover. And I know the hospital can't hand over. I know the hospital.
Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog.
Who you say?
Yellow is the code, dog.
Who you say?
Yellow is the code, dog.
Everybody.
Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog. Yellow is the code, dog.
Yellow is the code, dog.
The region seems to be suffering from a viral disease called yellow fever. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. It is called NewsSpin. It is on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the TuneIn app, Radio Garden, Power 97.9 FM, and also on the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. It was all yellow over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines yesterday and into the wee hours of today. So as usual, the pollsters and the analysts got it wrong, because a lot of them were predicting that it would have been a close race between the incumbent Unity Labour Party and the opposition New Democratic Party over in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the veteran politician and the Prime Minister was won 5 consecutive general elections, was seeking a 6th straight term, which he was denied. And the Prime Minister was very confident going into that general election yesterday. And even to the extent, he promised that after his victory in SVG, he would be coming to St. Lucia to support his comrade, Philip J. Pierre, and the sister party, St. Lucia Labour Party. But according to the St. Vincent Times, in a landmark political transformation, the New Democratic Party, NDP, has secured victory in the 2025 national elections, concluding a quarter-century period outside the government's central leadership. And we have the footage to see of people celebrating, I think, very close to the headquarters of the NDP over in St. Vincent. And the piece continues. Godwin Friday, the party leader, will become the island's 7th prime minister since its 1979 independence, after winning a tightly contested electoral race against long-serving former Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves. Of course, it was not a tightly contested race. The NDP's strategic campaign culminated in the early hours, securing 14 parliamentary seats, and this is preliminary. And remember, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has 15 electoral seats, effectively ending Gonsalves' extended political tenure. As the new Prime Minister prepares to assume office, national attention will focus on his proposed policy initiatives and potential strategies for addressing the island's economic and social challenges. So, Godwin Friday, the new Prime Minister, or the Prime Minister-elect of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, will be sworn in the coming days, and of course he will be setting up his cabinet. And I tell you, it was jubilation in the streets of St. Vincent and the Grenadines last evening and into the wee hours of today. You could imagine they are also celebrating right now as we speak. And the ULP will be going back to the drawing board. Cannot imagine how Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves feels as we speak right now. He has been the Prime Minister from the year 2001. He is 80 years old, and maybe he's saying to himself, oh my God, I really should have passed the baton on to either my son or some other fitting individual within the party to lead the ULP into the general election of Thursday. But you know what power does? Power gets you, if you're not careful, to the point where you get used to it. You cannot live without it. And definitely, you're always craving it. And maybe Dr. Ralph Gonsalves wanted to serve another 5 years, another 5 years, another 5 years. But the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines decided that they've had enough of the comrade. Grenadian journalist Faria Callistra, or Callistra Faria, spoke with the Prime Minister. It appears that just about a day, or actually the polling day itself, and posed a question to him regarding suspicions that the writing was on the wall as far as he retaining power in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The polling shows, and it appears that this is one of your toughest election fights yet.
So you say?
Not so, I say. So analysts and
Which analysts?
and polling
Analysts?
say.
Well,
we won't call names here, but I just tell me how has the day been going?
The analysts do not have access to my numbers from within the various constituencies. And I'm very confident of a victory larger than the last time, both in number of seats and in percentage of votes.
You made an impassioned plea to Laborites to come back home. Do you feel, as you look at what's happening today, do you feel that plea, how effective was that plea?
They listen to their comrade leader. The Labour family listens when Ralph speaks.
Obviously, this time around, they did not listen, Comrade Ralph Gonsalves, and they had other intentions, which they displayed in a very vociferous manner. According to preliminary results, 14-1 in favor of the NDP. How will this impact the upcoming general elections over in St. Lucia? It takes me to our NewsSpin question of the day. Will yellow be the code in St. Lucia on Monday following Ralph's humiliation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines? Will yellow be the code in St. Lucia on Monday following Dr. Ralph Gonsalves' humiliation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What impact, if any, you think this will have on the upcoming general election in St. Lucia, considering the color of the United Workers' Party is yellow. That was the color of the winning party in St. Vincent, that of the UNC in Trinidad and Tobago, and the JLP over in Jamaica. But it was also Dr. Ralph Gonzalez just a few days ago promised to return to St. Lucia upon winning. He was so confident, winning that general election, that he would be coming to St. Lucia and to help the St. Lucia Labour Party. And part of this, people are, making fun of him, and it's being parodied and so on.
From Georgetown, St. Vincent and Grenadines, to express my solidarity with Prime Minister Philippe and the St. Lucia Labour Party, which is a sister party. And when we win here on the 27th, I'm going there after I have the new government, at least after I'm sworn in, and a deputy prime minister is sworn in. At the invitation of Philip, I will be in St. Lucia at least for the final rally. From Georgetown, St. Vincent and Grenadines, to express my solidarity with Prime Minister Philippe and the St. Lucia Labour Party, which is a sister party. And when we win here on the 27th, I'm going there after I have the new government, at least after I'm sworn in, and a deputy prime minister is sworn in. At the invitation of Philip, I will be in St. Lucia at least for the final rally.
Today, in St. Vincent, the St. Vincent Labour Party, the Unity Labour Party, and our sister party, a red party, lost the elections. And they lost it to a party that was yellow. In Trinidad a few months ago, the PNM, a red party, lost the elections to the UNC, a yellow party. And I heard the Flabos were celebrating tonight. Pisiodi, Isam Yokaigeye. I want you tonight to tell them that that will never, never, never happen. And we have a responsibility in St. Lucia. We have a responsibility in St. Lucia to make sure that we stop this yellow wave that is starting to spread.
Well, let's wait until Monday to find out what happens. Let's open the lines right now to take your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Amanda is going through your comments in the chat room, and she'll be providing us with some reports in just a moment. Our first call is on the line. As we say, good afternoon to you. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hey, good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, someone asked me a question this morning and it baffles me, right? And the question that was posed to me this morning is that, would I work for a tin of tuna fish per hour in St. Lucia? And I say, but why would you tell me that? They say, well, why? I tell you the minimum wage is good, but that's what I basically looking for. $6.50, even less than a tuna fish. Tim, that had me this morning laughing, and I saw it on Facebook as well. I couldn't believe.
That's all that's on your mind, sir? Okay. Thank you so much for that call. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have another call on the landline. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello. Hi, Tim. Good day. How are you?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Fantastic, team. I am so elated and celebrating. It's like St. Lucia had returned to yellow for me since St. Lucia. I just It's just an eyesight away, seriously, because I'm from the south of the island.
Okay.
And I can see St. Vincent every day of my life through my windows, from my doors. So it's a celebration that whether he denies it from now until kingdom come, the yellow wave is on. And so we're looking for a man that they have castigated and have raised the ugly head of racism that has no place on this island. They've castigated him on all kinds of allegations, but he will be called the Honorable Prime Minister, Michael Allen Chastney, in a few days from now. So St. Lucia, get ready. The yellow wave is on. We're coming. Congratulations already. So all flock. By extension, when the United Voters Party returns to office, there will not be a red side or yellow side or blue side. We are all going to be St. Lucia because we have Chinese of ethnic origins here. They speak like us. They sound like us. We have Syrians. They speak like us. They sound like us. We are a diverse community. We have white folks who sound and speak just like us as well. We have Cubans living among us. As a matter of fact, in my vehicle right now, I'm sitting right next to a Cuban medical professional. And, I don't know where the Labour Party think it is wise for them to raise the ugly head of racism, something we've never had before. And then, of course, they're calling women of all kinds of names, and it's horrible. So we need a serious man to lead this country. We need a man who has international stature. We need a man who has regional stature. When he enters the room, people respect him. We need him to sound as if, not as if, to sound as a leader. And this is the guy we're looking forward to. I'm tired of all kinds of onomatopoeic sound from a prime minister who should be speaking. Speak, Mr. Prime Minister, and stop making silly sounds. The memes are too horrible. I can't, my colleagues overseas, they're always chastising me and making us St. Lucia look ridiculous. But we need our international airport which is coming back. We need our cruise port terminal in Viewfort. We need the horse race track back. We need the highways and the housing projects and all of this good stuff. St. Lucia, it is coming back. In a matter of days, we will be going to the polls, and we urge all of you to come out and vote in large numbers. Finally, Tim, we do not support Alan Michael Chastney because of the color of his skin. That has nothing to do with Alan Michael Chastney. We support him because he is a man. We see him as a man. We see him as a leader. We see him as someone who's tested already. And so all of these good things makes him suitable to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia. Thank you, team. St. Lucia, yellow is the code. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Somebody says via WhatsApp, is that invitation to Dr. Raul Gonzalez still open? To saying that a day ago, Richard Frederick was saying nobody wants a loser to campaign for them. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's take a call on the landline. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Good day, Jim.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon to Amanda as well.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Okay, last week I called the swing voter. I'm calling back to back up the lady yesterday who was giving the reasons why we should not vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party and why we should all stand behind Mr. Alan Chastney. Tim, one of the things that has really irked me from the last election was the promises made by the Philip JPA administration with regards to transparency and accountability. They campaigned heavily on that, and I'm still yet to see the results from that. Tim, the Poleon highway, the going up north, that project was stopped, Tim, and we yet to see any outcome from why, any good valid reason as to why it was stopped. Okay, there were allegations being made of corruption in that project, the Talvin housing project, the Shock housing project, and many others. A special prosecutor was hired just for that reason, and we're going into election, and there has been no outcome whatsoever regarding that. Now, that to me speaks volumes. Last election, I trusted Mr. Pierre. I gave him my vote. But this time around, I'm not doing that. I'm making things right this time around. Also, we have so much money that is being spent now that is being unaccounted for. So much wastage. There's a lot of money being wasted all over the place, Tim, and we have no accountability for these monies. Yet still, these people are asking us to put them back in the seat of power to continue squandering our funds. I, for one, as a taxpayer, am not prepared to do so. On December 1st, we are going to right this wrong. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And as somebody says via WhatsApp that, Tim, I didn't know better. I would say that the SLP is trying its best to make people angry and so that they would not go and vote. I've been on the line for over 5 hours in the South. Whoever gave up with the plans need to be fired. Long lines, last election, the most you spent for voting was 1 hour. Today, essential workers are voting. Police officers, you're talking about the security forces, the fire officers, the officers at the Bordelais Correctional Facility. They are also voting today ahead of the general election of December the 1st. Another call on the line. As we say, good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello?
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, you know where I go into the polls on Monday and vote for? I vote in because I have two daughters. A minister in government insulting young women. That's why I'm going to vote. And again, I'm going to vote for the 2.5% that they fool us with. They say for 1 year, and it's still there. Tim, I'm going to vote Monday again. You see the gas prices, they didn't bring down, and they just put in holes in my pocket. I voted for that, Tim. Tim, I'm voting for the health care, the hospital. They didn't give me, and they give me a shell. And when people, they handling over of that building, people didn't have access to go and look at the apartments in the building, Tim. Tim, I am voting against this Labour government because they never push agriculture for the farmers to feed their own food. Tim, I am voting for the bad roads in St. Lucia. Every time my paths get bad, the car dealership makes a lot of money and you still have 2.5%, Tim. Tim, there's so many. Out of 100, I just give you a handful of things that affecting me. And there's 100 more that affecting St. Lucian. Tim, this government has to be put out. Tim, I'm voting against this government for the money that's been spending. A friend of mine just gave me a wrong after 10. He just got $4,000, Tim. From I'm not going to mention the minister. He gave me $200. I could have, out of the 200, Tim, I put $80 gas in my car. And then I have $110. The $110 is to buy some hard drinks because I was told there's a sale down Uptown Center. So I'm going to buy $110 worth of rum and I'm going to celebrate that Monday night. Tim, there's so many things that are affecting us, Tim. Yellow is the code in St. Vincent. Yellow is the code in Trinidad and Tobago. Yellow is the code in Jamaica. Tim, forward ever, backward never. Yellow is the code in St. Lucia. I thank you.
Thank you so much. WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, good afternoon to you, sir. And that's coming from a police officer. The presiding officer is not doing a good job. And if that's how they're going, officers will finish all 9 p.m. 8 a.m. on a line with 70 people ahead of me. It's 11:20 a.m. I haven't moved more than 30 feet. To reach the door might take me another 4 hours. That's how frustrating it is. It's like a deliberate thing. I believe next time they need to put the constituencies in different locations. Mixing 3 of them together in one room does not cut it. The line I'm on is Dennery North, Ancillary, Canaries, and Castries Southeast. That's the area with the most officers. Compared to Castries Central, Castries South, East and Castries North, causing officers to leave. I'm still on the line from 8 a.m. And to make it worse, hacks of the SLP driving inside with their vehicles with big red flag star symbols and star stickers on their vehicles. How ridiculous. That's at the Police Training Academy. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air. Hello. Okay, this call is connecting, and that person is calling from the diaspora. Let's see if it will connect anytime from now. Okay, without any luck. So you'll have to call back. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message to go through. And somebody says, for a man that's talking so much for UWP, we will give him $200. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, right now, not all radio stations have been infiltrated by the Labour Party. And some more of your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says, good afternoon, Tim. Last elections, I voted SLP. Come Monday, I voting yellow is the code. We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello?
Timothy Poleon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, sir. Ali Sko.
Right.
Good afternoon.
Comment est là, dia?
Ouais, moi bien ou même?
Moi vivant.
Ok, ça qui en le lido?
Moi ça veut moi parler à ce radio station ça, on sait bail pour dire. Je pas d'accord avec moi mais oui opinion moi c'est opinion moi n'a idée comme ouais.
Ouais.
La famille un monde moi qui a créé programme qui a dit rien qui bon avant de SLP.
Ça c'est opinion yo.
Mais
ça c'est opinion yo.
Ouais, moi ça. Mais moi tant
so dia buy a bon buy about flambeau. Dia bon buy about flambeau.
Ouais, Barry, naidu. Manifesto yo ka son bon. Mais l'année Chaiba yo dit ma quoi ça répète. Parce que yo pour hier eh bien whatever je ne pas les dit il a dans l'autre bas il dit yo kay fait travail hôtel. Je viens $2,600 par mois. You dit, you can buy $75,000 health insurance. Ok, tout ça bon, mais à même là, you dit, you can tirer on chaque taxe à ce différent bail. As far as moi ça, gouvernement, on pays passe à survive sans taxe. Là, niveau de taxe. So, pour tout le tiers taxe, à ce comme un bail, vous avez mon $75,000 health insurance. Comment est-ce que ça va? Vous voulez faire travail au hôtel, je viens $2,600 par mois. Comment est-ce que ça va? Le gouvernement n'a pas une charge de l'hôtel là. L'hôtel là, c'est un business privé. Vous attendez?
Attends, oui. Mais Alisco, on est pour indiquer cause. Toute l'Amérique, qui ne pas indiquer quoi sur ça qu'a fait. All right.
Hello?
Vous attendez? Est-ce que vous attendez, Alisco? Hello?
Hello?
Ou attendez moi? Ça m'a Alisco pas attendre moi. Alisco pas attendre moi. OK. Si vous voulez, vous pouvez vivre couille Alisco. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We lost Alisco there, calling from the United States. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, News Spinners. Tim, a few comments here via the Facebook chat room. Someone says, Ralph will be in St. Lucia this weekend for a soft candle rub. The beating gave him bless. Commentator says, I know the police and essential services personnel would vote for the right government, a government who rebuilt the custody suites, building a modern police headquarters in the north, who's building the new halls of justice, who has given the police a pay rise, backdated, who has given bulletproof vests, more vehicles, invested in new fire appliances, opened a brand new fire station in the south. Imagine all this achieved in just 4 years. Just imagine how much more will be done in 5 or more years. The police and essential services choice is clear. They're staying with PJP. The mood is red and will remain red at 10 p.m. on Monday, December 1st. A NewsSpin says, was Golden Dragon Ralph's political strategist? Commentary says, a team there want him because they believe he'll spread the losing spree here. Someone says Ralph should enjoy his retirement. A NewsSpinner says absolute power corrupts absolutely. NewsSpin, this should serve as a reminder to anyone considering making politics into a career. Term limits should be a thing. A commentator says, well, team, what I am saying, it started from Jamaica into Guyana, then into Trinidad, into St. Vincent, wondering where to next. A commentator says, Ralph, honestly, it was time for you to rest. A NewsSpinner says via Facebook, the arrogance, the ego. A commentator says, this man was so swell-headed and so is PGP. Commentator says, don't forget to include the people of St. Lucia in the decision-making process. Someone says, this government lacks both direction and vision for St. Lucia. It is time for them to leave office. Commentator says, one thing with these politicians, they always tell you they are winning big, even when it is clear that they are losing. A commentator says, well, VA4 people should take note the most. They are the ones who have politicians taking them for a ride time and time again. I shake my head. A NewsSpinner says via Facebook, God knows and sees all things in our country, and he knows that we are suffering under those greedy boys. Time to go, all of them, wipe them out. A commentator says Gonzalez was too greedy for power and selfishly undermined his party. You reap what you sow. A NewsSpinner says via the Facebook chat room, the rise of yellow like a slow creeping dawn across the Caribbean sky, turning everything in its path a bright, undeniable hue. First, Trinidad fell under the golden glow, then Anguilla caught the fever, its streets awash in sunshine. Now St. Vincent and the Grenadines has succumbed to the inevitable, and St. Lucia, darling of the Caribbean, is next. A wave of yellow that can't be stopped, like a school of fish swimming in perfect harmony towards victory. Or the people have spoken, or rather shouted, and lo and behold, when you don't listen, the sun has a funny way of lighting up your path straight to the polls. December 1st, 2025, mark your calendars, because that's the day when the yellow floodgates open and the rest of St. Lucia will find itself drenched in victory. It's not just the color, it's a code, a signal to the powers that be, time's up. Yellow is the code. They'll say hello yellow. Not the kind of yellow that fades in the sun, but the kind that radiates, the kind that makes everyone else squint and wonder why they didn't see it coming. The writing's on the wall and probably painted in bright yellow paint. Get ready, St. Lucia, the sun's about to shine on your victory, and no amount of shade can block it. A commentator says he can come to cry on Philip's shoulder, so Philip can cry on his on Monday. Commentator says, in all fairness, we need to commend him for his strong voice within CARICOM. Someone says, I myself ain't predicting no election anymore, not a patat. Too many surprises, our. Someone says, really at the same time, tell us about our CIP monies. Commentary reads via Facebook, they sounded very desperate last night. I heard all kinds of disgusting comments on the platform by Wayne. Commentator says, yes, caller, even on the platform last night, they were talking about racism and making fun of people's height as well. Commentator says, well, Ralphie can now retire and open his breeding shop. Commentator says via Facebook, our international airport is disgusting. I'm so disappointed and ashamed of my country. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. More updates still to come from her as we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says, Tim, I'm from the constituency of Babonneau, and I think the issue of cows along the Shock Highway is one that warrants serious consideration by any party seeking to be elected. This has been an issue of safety for decades, and no government has been able to get this single individual to comply. Nor has there been any consequence for the neglect and disrespect that this individual shows to the people of St. Lucia. I challenge both the UWP and the SLP to make a definitive statement on plans to deal with this issue once and for all. On a lighter note, I think it's worth considering the option of the government compulsorily purchasing all of these cows as opposed to any other form of compensation. Have them slaughtered and distributed to the public as a post-election Christmas gift. I believe in a free and fair election and would also like to urge all eligible voters to go out and vote for the candidates whom they believe can provide fair and effective representation. Let's see if we have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good
hello,
afternoon.
Tim. How you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good. Calling out of Brooklyn, New York. Just want to make a quick statement.
Yes, go ahead, please.
To my fellow St. Lucians.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I first want to start by telling my fellow St. Lucians that they should ask themselves, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. All right?
Yeah.
Famous quote by John F. Kennedy. How productive can you be for your country, and how your country in turn can provide all the necessary support services needed so we can benefit as a proud nation. I also want to ask my fellow St. Lucians to vote your conscience on the day of election. Think about your children and their future. Think about the politician and the party which can provide.
I think we have lost the caller. Hello, caller. Are you there?
The politician which is best poised to teach your children.
Okay.
Think about the politician with the best ideas and policies, which can be a catalyst to the best St. Lucia we can have for generations to come. A highly educated St. Lucia. Remember, education is the great equalizer in life. A safe St. Lucia, a healthy St. Lucia, and a prosperous St. Lucia. Yes, sometimes we all need a helping hand or a leg up, but it should not be the order of the day. And a leg up or handout should be seen as a paying it forward type of strategy, where today you are given a leg up or handout and should use this as a way of helping someone else in the future, not forgetting where you came from in your time of need. And finally, I want to appeal to my fellow St. Lucians that you should hold politicians accountable to the finances and resources of our tiny island, as we are heavily in debt with a lot of waste and inefficiencies as we take on so many loans and debt that must be paid by our children. Keeping in mind every dollar we borrow today, what the future cost of that dollar would be versus the benefits, future benefits. Politicians need to be held accountable fully for any wastage and embezzlement of any kind of corruption. They need to be exposed and they need to account. Remember, they work for us and that we give them the power. I want to end by saying, most importantly, remember to put God first in all things. Vote with your conscience. And remember, you give politicians the power. And may God bless this beautiful nation of ours, fairest island, St. Lucia. I thank you, Tim, and keep up the great work.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Calling from the diaspora. We await some more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We have a call via WhatsApp as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello? Okay, we missed that call. All right, let me see if I have a WhatsApp message to go through. Let's see there. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, I'm begging the police and firefighters to be patient on the line. You are going there for a just cause. The Lord is good. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Okay, this person's calling from the diaspora. We try to connect this call, taking a few seconds for this to happen. I think we might have to go to another contribution, or let's go through a WhatsApp message. Just bear with me while we try to go through as many of your messages as possible. And somebody says that the St. Vincent elections came out just like that of the St. Lucia elections of 2021. The turnout was rather low. Tell that person speak for themselves. The government must give the police tools to work with. Pierre Shaw didn't give police any bulletproof vests. The vests were acquired by officers giving up their high-risk allowances in order to get the vest. So no, he didn't give it. If you're an officer and you can say this, you are really against yourself, or you are just a hack. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. And somebody says there via... Okay, let's see if we can take this call. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. All right, we have lost that call. Let's see if we can put another call on the air. We seem to be... A lot of our calls are dropping. Another call. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Tim. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon to your assistant and your guest.
Good afternoon,
Tim,
caller.
I in particular have tried to explain to persons the issues with the CIP and the lack of reporting by the government. I came across a tape recently where the outgoing Prime Minister was insistent that, and he was talking to a bunch of youngsters. I think it was some sort of youth forum or something. And he was still trying to defend the fact that the proper reporting had not been done. And in so doing, the excuse he came up with this time is there are insufficient auditors in St. Lucia. I mean, possibly the youngsters may not understand how this thing works, but I think it's very dishonest of him to do that. And it actually shows that instead of him in his role, in his former role, taking task with the responsible former minister in respect of the non-reporting to mislead the youngsters into thinking that it was not important, I think that is very, very offensive. Just for the general information of the public, because I've heard other people talk about it, in St. Lucia, there are probably about 4 or 5 international accounting firms. There's Ernst & Young, Grant Thornton, EKF, Pricewaterhouse, and KPMG. These are 5 international accounting firms. And apart from that, there are local chartered accountants who have the competence because they have the experience of having worked with these firms to do that audit. Now, when he said that, I went again, I had a look at the statements, the last statements that were filed. That was those for 2023, I think. And what I discovered is that the statements for between 23 and 2023 and 2024, there was a change in auditors. So perhaps he may want to explain why did the auditors change, because it's very rare auditors change if they've got a lucrative account. That would be a very interesting thing. Why did they change? Now, I just want to drive home quickly the importance of this. The financial statements which are being audited are merely in respect to the administrative responsibilities of the CIP. These financial statements control nothing about the actual sales of passports. We have to understand that. The income of those financial statements are the administrative fees which are collected by the CIP unit. It has nothing to do with the passport fees, absolutely nothing. Now, besides these financial statements being tabled in the House, they have to be accompanied by a chairman's report. Now, it is within the chairman's report that you actually see what is going on, but they don't give you numbers, they don't give you dollar values. They give you numbers of passports which are approved. And for you to get the dollar values now, you've got to do the computations and so on. But nevertheless, a competent person will be able to extrapolate those numbers, and that's why we come up with the numbers that we come up with. Now, the report, the auditors report on the financial statements, the opinion they give on this does not extend to the chairman's report. So in other words, the chairman's report is not audited. But before the auditors sign off on the financial statements, they have to make sure that there is nothing in the chairman's report that is inconsistent with their understanding of the financial statements. So while the chairman's report is not audited, there's a degree of oversight, if you will, of it, because of there must not be any open inconsistency between the two. And I think this is the important thing to people to understand. There is information available. It's just a matter of where you're going. Now, the importance of this, I want to emphasize again, is that if you will recall, the budget last year, the annual budget, the 24-25 budget, the 25-26 budget, the total approved expenditure was just under 2 billion Eastern Caribbean dollars. It was 1.99 something or whatever, right? The funds that we have identified coming out of the 2024 report that seem to have gone astray is about 6 billion Eastern Caribbean dollars. This is about 3 times 1 year's approved expenditure. Can you visualize that, Tim?
Yeah.
We are seeking 3 years approved expenditure from that financial statements. And that is the scale of the things. And people must never try to diminish this. So we're going into a general election with the government not have accounted for 6 billion, 3 years expenditure to the people of St. Lucia. And that is egregious. It is beyond egregious. It is literally cheating people of information that they need to be able to make decisions. Imagine a private company coming to market, asking people to invest in the shares, but they're not telling you how the company is performing. That is the insanity of what is going on here. And people have to understand you don't give people a free pass when there's so much outstanding information because you simply don't know. And that $6 billion I'm talking about, which is 3 years approved expenditure, that is an estimate. It could easily be more simply because of what we're hearing from other sources. So in going to the elections without that information has to be a very, very strong mark against the government. And for the Prime Minister now, former Prime Minister, to go in there and to attempt to mislead young people into thinking that it is okay. It is totally, totally wrong. Absolutely wrong. It's offensive. It's dishonest. And I need people to understand that. We cannot go into a general election to have 3 unexplained revenue totaling 3 years approved expenditure unexplained. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Okay.
Okay, caller. All right.
I hope I've tried to be clear, but I know you're always pushing me for time. So I hope someone understands, and I'll be happy if anybody wants to call me privately. I can explain it to them.
All right, sir.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for calling. Chartered accountant, Mr. Frank Meyer. Somebody says, bro, the system to vote at Gros Delay fast station is too long. It takes 3 to 4 hours before you vote. And that is according to a WhatsApp message. So many complaints regarding the tedious nature that people have to endure when they are seeking to vote today as essential workers. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call on the landline. Good afternoon to you on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, Timothy.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Fine. I'm getting ready for Monday.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Timothy, let us assume that the opposition gets into government. Timothy, they have a lot of work to do, you know, because there are a lot of persons placed in places, you know, where they, especially where certain important meetings are to be held, and these persons are not on their side. and a lot of things might happen, a lot of siphoning of information. Let me tell you, the opposition have to put themselves in such a way that these things don't happen, and they have a tough task, a really tough task when they go in there. Now, when they go in, I pray that the National Trust will not be sleeping anymore. The Chamber of Commerce will not be sleeping anymore. Women's rights organizations will not be sleeping. Consumer rights organizations will not be sleeping. The legal fraternity will not be having the longest rest. So I'm just hoping that everything goes back to normal on Tuesday, November the 2nd. And I wish everybody well, especially the United Workers' Party. Thank you, Timothy.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. WhatsApp message. Hey, Tim. The Labour Party supporters and its surrogates erroneously spread the story that reduced taxes invariably mean lower revenues for the government. Let's put this issue to rest. Based on proven Keynesian economics, lower taxes, all things being equal, increases aggregate demand, example, demand among consumers, thereby greater economic activity, and thus more tax revenue for the government. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. Somebody says that, Tim, the polling station at the Groseley fire station has only one box and the process is so slow. I really believe that this time around the voting process seemed to have been deliberately disorganized just to frustrate us police officers. Reason for maybe just to hear us say we are not voting again and leave. But little do they know the code is yellow. We are staying to vote for the code. Notwithstanding that, some of us have been here since about 9:30 this morning. And again, that is according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there, Tim, you have a sitting government who is campaigning like they are in opposition. I mean, it's okay to campaign, but using all these resources, billboards in excess, step program, last minute road works, not to mention the handouts, St. Lucia, wake up. Aren't you tired of this trick? And last thing, our population needs a good healthcare system, education, security, and health all come together. With no health, there's no wealth. Make the right choice. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message, and we're trying to go through as many of your messages as possible. We have another WhatsApp message, and somebody says there via WhatsApp. I'm just trying to access as many of them as possible. It says that, Tim, this is exactly what I was afraid of. This electoral department is the worst I've seen in years and don't have much trust nor confidence in them. The reports coming in could be a sign of things to come on Monday. Let's take a call on the line. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy Poleon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Timothy. Now is our time. That's when the ministers, they're making wrong around our houses. Want to bribe us. Now is the time for St. Lucian to wake up, for us to demand what we want. They're not the boss. We, that's the boss. That's why yellow is the code. And I want my people of Cicero, of Abdimon, Kubawel, I want them people to come out, full show. I want them people to come out and vote. And vote Healy out. Don't vote him in, Vote him out. All the way. Because me say, bon. You cannot talk to him. He's big. He's tough. Last night he crying like a baby on the mic. I don't watching him crying like a baby. What? And choose Monday night, you go see crying just like Ralph Gonzalez. Have a good afternoon, Timothy.
Same to you, sir. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. We continue with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages. We have a constituent from the Dennery Valley. You'll be hearing from her in just a moment. You'll be hearing from a youth activist and a whole lot more between now and 2:30 this afternoon. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Freight International, and Smack is spelled S-M-A-K. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Freight International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy, buy it for less at Smack Freight. Smack Freight is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. That WhatsApp number again, 1737-409-4048, or visit their website at smackfreight.com, SMAKFREIGHT.com.
How to vote at general elections in St. Lucia. To vote is your constitutional right. Over the next few minutes, the Electoral Department will share with you how to vote on Election Day. All polling stations will be sanitized prior to polling day and after. On Election Day, polling stations must be open at 6:30 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. Once your name is on the voters list, all efforts will be made to ensure that you cast your vote. You can vote with your national identification card. If you do not have a national ID card, you can vote with any photo ID such as a driver's license, passport, or any other photo ID, which will allow you to be identified to the satisfaction of the presiding officer. Safety tips and all other election signage will be posted inside and outside the polling stations. No electronic devices, that is, cell phones, cameras, tablets, smart devices, example smart watches, will be allowed in the polling station. How to vote on Election Day. The electors approach the polling station. As the elector approaches the polling station, an assistant poll clerk outside verifies the elector's name and directs him or her to the correct polling station. The poll clerk invites the elector into the polling station and asks the elector to present his or her national identification card or photo IDs, such as a driver's license or passport. The elector is asked to deposit all electronic devices in a basket next to the presiding officer. The poll clerk announces loudly the elector's name and registration number as it appears on the voters' list. The presiding officer, poll clerk, and agents verify the elector's name on the voters' list and draw a line across the verified information. The assistant poll clerk verifies the information using the electronic device. Before the presiding officer issues the elector a ballot paper, the officer examines the hands and fingers of the elector to ascertain whether the elector has not voted previously. If there is no indelible ink on the right index finger up to the cuticle, the elector is processed. The presiding officer administers the indelible ink on the right index finger or the next available finger if there is no index finger. The presiding officer explains the voting process to the elector and instructs the elector on the correct way to mark and fold the ballot. The presiding officer issues a ballot paper to the elector and informs him or her that only the pencil provided for voting to mark his or her ballot must be used. When the elector has marked and folded his or her ballot as was instructed, the elector returns to the presiding officer and shows the presiding officer his or her initials on the folded ballot paper. Once the presiding officer is satisfied that this is the same ballot that was issued, the voter will place the ballot in the ballot box in the presence of the presiding officer. The poll clerk will mark voted in the poll book, and the assistant poll clerk will flag the elector as voted on the electronic device. The elector is asked to collect all his or her belongings and exit the polling station.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
Alan, apart from being my son, is an incredible person. Alan conceptualizes things beyond any imagination. When DSH came in, you leased the land that was doing nothing. You had people from all over the world coming, and that could have been a magnificent development for St. Lucia. He put together an idea that he have a cruise ship port. He got 3 shipping companies to agree to put a cruise port. And I said, why did you put the cruise port? He said, Dad, when a passenger comes on a cruise ship here in it, you get $10 or $12. I said, yeah, that's fine. That's small money. When you put a cruise ship port and you have 4,000 people coming in and 4,000 people leaving, these people that come in pay $100.
This was a paid political advertisement.
What if the next drop is the last? St. Lucia is facing longer, more intense dry spells, and our water sources are drying up. And when the rains come, they come harder and faster, damaging our homes and disrupting our water supply. But we can change the outcome. By conserving water and protecting our sources, every small action adds up. WASCO, working in collaboration with the Water Resource Management Agency, is committed to securing our water future. But we need your help. Together, we can protect our water, our health, and our future. One small step can make a big impact. Let's secure our water and secure our future. For more information, visit wascostlucia.com.
Yeah, man. Great job, guys. I love it.
Yeah, man. You guys see how the place starting to look nice?
Not just nice. This STEP program creates a safer and healthier community for all of us who live it. CIP is doing so many good things in the communities and providing jobs for us. It's a win-win for everyone. I am the I in CIP.
I am the I in CIP. It's about our citizenship by investment program.
The season is here at KFC. It's Christmas in every way. Grab a festive feast bucket or festive feast box today. And every time you purchase, you have chances to win. Day passes, vouchers, jewelry, and appliances all tucked in. Dipping wings, crispy chicken, biscuits, and sodas all inside. Fries and coleslaw, we spreading joy island-wide. Or choose the festive feast box with a big crunch inside. With chicken, fries, and soda, that's magic we can't hide.
It's KFC, finger-licking good! This promotion has been approved by the National Lotteries Authority of St. Lucia.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit newselect.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with New Select.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
Under the UWP, horses had a better home than our human patients. St. Jude Hospital sat unfinished for years while Chasney poured millions into a racetrack. The St. Lucia Labour Party fixed that. St. Jude is now complete. Universal healthcare is finally a reality. Don't gamble your health on Chasney and the UWP. On December 1st, vote for the St. Lucia Labour Party.
This was a paid political advertisement. Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
Since it's nice, we're doing it twice. Clock out and clock into courts. November 28th, it's Black Friday reloaded.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Every day, St. Lucian women give everything to their families, communities, and dreams. Yet breast cancer still claims too many lives. Now, St. Lucia is making history. For the first time, state-of-the-art 3D mammography is available right here at home. Donated by the World Bank through the Health Sector Support Program, these advanced machines are a major step forward in universal health coverage, and they're free. Women 40 and older or younger, if at risk, can access this life-saving service. Visit your local wellness center for a referral. Early detection saves lives. Free mammograms, universal coverage. Your wellness center is your first step.
At First National Bank, we believe being first means putting you first. Your first home, we've got the mortgage. Starting your first business, count on our commercial loans. Dreaming of your first car? Drive it home today. Heading to college? Let's fund that first big step with a student loan. No matter the milestone, make First National Bank your first choice for all your loan needs. First in service, first in trust, first for you. Call us at 455-7000 or visit your nearest First National Bank branch today so we can help put you first. First National Bank, here for you.
Flow can make the season even merrier. Switch to a Flow prepaid combo plan and we'll give you a 30
3-day plan absolutely free. That's a whole month on us. 36 gigabytes of data, unlimited calls and texts, plus all the social media and WhatsApp you need to share every festive moment. Plus, spin the wheel for even more prizes. Switch to Flow Prepaid today and get your next combo on the house. Sign up in-store today or visit online at discoverflow.co. We keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
I don't judge anybody by where they live, their standard of living, or what they have in life. I always make it a point to tell them thank you, to hug them, and show genuine care. My constituents know that about me, that we don't shake hands, we hug, we kiss. We speak about their family first, not about politics. They know that I genuinely care about them because I love people. And I appreciate when people can come to me to ask me to be able to help. I want everybody to know that Uncle Shas cares and loves you. They've seen me in action, whether it's a kid that needs shoes, a kid that needs tablets, a kid who needs a new football to put on a summer camp. That whatever I do, it is always about people, uplifting people, inspiring people, and helping to give people strength. That's who I am. That's from my mother. She went through her fair share of oppression and tough times, but she never lost her heart. In fact, all those things made her heart bigger, and I'm so grateful that I've gotten that from her. We have to love and believe in our country, St. Lucia.
This was a paid political advertisement.
The most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. We now have a statement by Gina Matthew, and she is the candidate for Castries North in the upcoming general election, and she is from the St. Lucia National Congress.
When a democracy is faced with corrupt officials whose arrogance threatens a country with tyranny, it is the youth who rise up. And when the streets are no longer safe, hospitals fail the sick, and the children do not have enough to eat, it is the youth who take action and ensure a change in governance. When also billions of dollars are unaccounted for, deals are made without disclosing the necessary details, and shady activity becomes rampant. It is the youth who take down curtains, shine lights into the dark, and expose the true situation. The St. Lucia National Congress calls on all young persons to ensure that your vote counts among those who will end the status quo. Make this one personal. Vote for your own stability and prosperity. You are the key to your own destiny. Take your place. Exercise your power. Fulfill your purpose. Gina Matthew, Chairwoman for the St. Lucia National Congress.
And Gina Matthew will be contesting the Castries North seat in the upcoming general election. Her husband, Dr. Andrew Matthew, will be contesting the Castries Central seat, and they are both from the St. Lucia National Congress. Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Cole. Hi. This is Laura Japianuel, candidate for the United Workers' Party, Library OJ. On this, I want to say eve, although it's not technically eve, but it's the last working day of the week. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to reach out to St. Lucians, Laborians, and Algerians living at home and abroad with a small message. I just want to let St. Lucians know, but in particular my constituents, that December 1st is not just another date on the calendar. It is our day. It is the day we decide whether we continue with more of the same or we choose a new vision, a new direction for our communities, our children, and our future. I am asking from the bottom of my heart to St. Lucians, to come out early and vote. Vote for better roads. Vote for real opportunities. Vote for our young people, not just handouts. Vote for support. Vote for our farmers. Vote for our fishers, not just empty promises that are recycled and regurgitated every 4.5 years. Vote for dignity. Vote for our elderly. Vote for security of our families. On Monday, December 1st, I want every St. Lucian, particularly Laborians and Algerians, to go early to your nearest polling station or the polling station at which you registered. Walk with your ID. Cast your vote and with courage and conviction. Call or message.
Okay, we hope this call can be reconnected. Okay. Once again, hello, good afternoon. You still there, Laura? Yes, continue,
Can you
please.
hear me?
Yeah, continue, please.
Yes. Thank you. Your vote is your power, St. Lucia. Your vote is your voice. Do not let anyone silence it. Do not let anyone buy it. Because if they can buy you, they can also sell you. Do not let anybody frighten you. This election is about your children. It's not about life. I, Laura Jepinuel, I am ready to work for you. I don't want to be your boss. I want to work for you. I want to work with you.
Okay. Thank you so much. You just heard there from Mrs. Laura Noel, the United Workers' Party candidate for Labrie in the upcoming general election. Good afternoon to you, Amanda. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon again, Tim. Tim, a few comments here via Facebook. Someone says here, these presiding officers, the new interference. So commentary reads, because of the SLP government, St. Lucia has never been so bad. The SLP ministers and supporters are threatening citizens because they go against them. A NewsSpin says there, I am going to vote against the GPH secret deal. Commentary reads, they have money to buy plywood to build billboards but cannot put medicine in the hospitals. Someone says there, every Labour supporter claims they're winning all 17 seats. I do not argue with them, but just remind them that Monday is not far away. A NewsSpinner says there, I personally believe many in law enforcement are fed up with this government and they will vote them out. Commentary says, I can imagine the frustration having to stand on a queue for such a long time. Please be patient, officers. You will make it to the finish line. Commentary says, please voters stay on the line. I understand how tiring it is, but hold on to the reason you made the effort to be here. This is for every St. Lucian, for your loved ones, and for the future of our nation. Your commitment makes a difference. A NewsSpinner says their SLP needs to stop worrying about UWP's manifesto, worry about winning all your seats. Commentary says, call the manifestos outline political parties' plans and visions. The people will choose wisely.
We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Mr. Guy Joseph.
Yes, Tim, I have a couple concerns that I need to raise. It's both an alert and just highlighting some concerning trends that we are seeing in the political arena today. It is very, very clear that the behavior of some of the people involved in the politics is taking us very, very backward, making us look like what used to happen many decades ago in the politics. The damage to paraphernalia continues. It is very prevalent in Castries Southeast, and I have been able to keep my people at bay and to let them know, do not interfere with the paraphernalia of the St. Lucia Labour Party and their candidate. But it is obvious that this is calculated, and I have information to show that people are actually being paid to destroy the paraphernalia of UWP candidates. I mean, we have just put up some photos again that was destroyed. I was on the way to Soufrière last week, and I actually have the video of a Labour Party vehicle ahead of me, moving side to side on the road to make sure that I could not pass for a good while. I eventually passed him and I stopped him because I wanted him to understand that I was avoiding an accident, not because I could not have done otherwise. Because that's why I drive a big vehicle during campaign team. I am aware of what is happening around me. We saw what happened with the breaking of a windscreen of a vehicle in Tommy's motorcade. I think it was yesterday, or no, a couple days ago in the Goodlands area. The stone was sent. Yesterday, the Labour Party motorcade went through a section of Cooley Town, and a lady, stones was sent onto the house of a supporter of the United Workers' Party, I assume because there were posters and things. I mean, for us to be in the political heat of a campaign like this one, and to get that kind of behavior from a government that was in the position doing this, it's the government side. The people who are in government for the last 4.5 years. And that is what they are resorting to resolve simple issues. Why don't they ask people to vote for them on their performance? And you would see, Tim, I don't know if you saw the videos circulating, highlighting a gentleman who was part of my campaign and had defected to the Labour Party, one by the name of Jules Cherry. And the following day, he was back on my campaign trail. This is that the Labour Party is paying people. They are buying support. The support is not legitimate. This morning, Tim, I was driving down. I will state it here on your program. A gentleman driving a DHL van. Now there's construction work going on the Tiroche Road. And a driver of a DHL vehicle in DHL uniform stops alongside my vehicle. Now I cannot continue. And he told me, I mentioned his name on the platform, and he started getting on and telling me I threatened him. I tell him, I threatened you. I said, I had a meeting in Forest Day. I threatened you, and I threatened this family and that family. Now, I will tell you thing. Lisa put out a post in the chat saying how many families that I attacked on the platform. Strangely enough, I met one of the persons who it is alleged that I attacked. And he told me, you know what I appreciate about you? Now I'm talking about a Labour Party supporter. He said, you know what I appreciate about you? That while reference was made to certain things, you did not call my name, you did not call my family name, you did not mention any name. And he was telling me that he appreciated that, while at the same time on the Labour Party page or in their chats, they have how many people that I attacked on the platform. And I keep on asking myself, why is it that the Labour Party feels they have to lie so much? Everybody who was in Forest there would have heard the meeting and what was said, and whether there was a personal attack on anybody. And I'm saying this to make a simple point here. The level of desperation by this St. Lucia Labour Party is one that should raise alarms and concerns in the minds of every right-thinking St. Lucian. And the gentleman I was telling you about with the DHL van, about 4 times I tell him, you holding up the traffic, there's a line of traffic behind him, there's a line of traffic behind me, but there's construction work on my side, I cannot go ahead. And with the DHL vehicle, and I hope the management of DHL is hearing what I am saying today, that a company vehicle, he stops in the road, he brings down his window, and he is making gestures with his hand at me and telling me how I threaten him and all of this and all of that. Now, I still choose him not to mention his name on the program. I asked him, I said, did you mention my name on the platform? And he said, yes, I mentioned your name on the platform. So I said, so you can mention my name on the platform, but I cannot mention your name. So he said, well, I'm not the politician. So I said, well, if you're not the politician, why are you the one mentioning my name on the platform? So I'm saying this to make the point that Labour thinks they can say what they want about you, when they want and how they want. And here's the lie that was told him. The gentleman I'm talking about said, I say I'm going to make a tunnel on the Piton floor. Now, Tim, I said that to bypass the Badlil. For years, what has been spoken about is a tunnel between the Badlil and Piton floor. There's a very narrow ridge that goes to the Tanazo area, or more the Richford area. And in the plans to bypass the Badlil because of all the slides, that has been one of the areas earmarked. So the road would have to come through Mac in order to connect. And I spoke about the road from Darren Sammy Cricket Ground to Dennery as the first phase of the 4-lane road we are putting from north to south. This is a discussion that has taken place by both political parties about that 4-lane road from north to south. So this is not just a UWP idea. Can you believe that the Labour Party candidate for Castries Southeast and on the platform and on social media, they are trying to ridicule the idea of a 4-lane road from Grosile to Dennery and from Bexon or from Cul-de-sac going via Mac through a tunnel to connect to that existing road. That is how narrow-minded the Labour Party is thinking, and it is obvious that the candidate has no idea about what development is and how to develop an area. So I'm saying to St. Lucians, and especially to the people of Castries Southeast, understand the people who are presenting themselves to represent you. They are clueless about the demographics, about the terrain, the landscape of Castries Southeast. Or else these ridiculous accusations or criticisms of long-term development projects would not find a way of being scrutinized. While at the same time, what they are offering the people of Castries Southeast is bird watching and hiking to Piton Floor as opposed to, or going and see Piton Floor as opposed to going and see the pitons, which is a World Heritage Site in Soufrière. Tim, can you believe that in this day, in 2025, that a candidate of the St. Lucia Labour Party would think that Piton Floor can be a replacement trail, track, hike, and sightseeing for the pitons in Soufrière? I mean, this is so absurd.
You have 1 more minute, sir.
I hope.
You have 1 more minute.
All right, Tim, thank you. So I just want to say to St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Trinidad has set the tone. And it's coming up the chain of islands, Tim. It came from Trinidad. Yellow is the code. Yellow is the code in St. Vincent. And yellow is already the code in St. Lucia. But it will be ratified on Monday. And as we say it, is a dose ball we're doing between St. Vincent and St. Lucia, where yellow is going to be the code in both areas. So I'm appealing to everybody. Do not engage in retaliation for what the Labour Party is doing. Do not resort to violence. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself at peace. And be ready bright and early on Monday to vote. That is the most important thing. Thank you very much for the time allotted to me for all your programs on NewsSpin leading up to the election, team.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. Just heard there from the deputy political leader of the opposition, UWP, also the candidate for Castries Southeast, Mr. Guy Joseph. As we're getting all set for another commercial break, let us hear from a resident from the Dennery North constituency. And she's taking issue with the stewardship being provided to that area over the last few years.
For too long, they have said Jolly or Gulu. For too long, they have said we boorish. And we cannot say Monday, we say Monday. And we cannot say coming, we say coming. By the time I went to S, they say, oh, where you from? You from the valley? They would laugh at us and look down at us. And when we give a man power so much that he believes that he is above us, Mister, I'm telling you all, we gave that power. And it's time for us to take it back. We gave them that power, and it's time for us to take it back. When people come into politics and they don't have their own vehicle, they don't have their own house, and in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, they are millionaires. The only way you can become a millionaire on a $10,000 salary a month is because you thief. You stole the people money, and all the monies they are giving today, let them write the checks. The checkbooks were high like that. Let them write the checks. The checkbooks, the pile of it was high like that. They thought I would come there and say, I want money. I don't want money. I want to see change. I don't want money. I want to see progress.
It went from Dennery North. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Shop directly from the U.S. with Smack Fruit International. Vehicles, heavy equipment, tools, parts, building materials, commercial equipment, office equipment, furniture, personal goods, home goods, shoes, clothing, restaurant equipment and supplies, uniforms, and so much more. Smack Fruit International also offers a broad selection of top quality products with real-time availability and fast delivery. It is simple. Whatever you buy it for less at Smack Fruit. Smack Fruit is now serving the Caribbean. WhatsApp them today at 1737-409-4048. That WhatsApp number again, 1737-409-4048 or visit their website at smackfreight.com. SMAKFREIGHT.com. Stand by for more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and a final update from Amanda as we're getting all set for December the 1st, General Election Day in St. Lucia.
I'm Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Economic Development, and the Youth Economy, and Minister for Justice and National Security. I am proud to say we have delivered to our young people. Previously, talented young solutions struggled with few opportunities and limited support. Today, through the youth economy, grants and mentorship, over 1,000 young entrepreneurs have launched and upscaled businesses, creating jobs and driving innovation. Real investment in our youth, real opportunities created, less progress you can see.
Remember when Alan Chastney's UWP crashed our economy? National debt soared, jobs vanished, businesses collapsed. They borrowed and wasted hundreds of millions and left St. Lucia broke.
We have no more money.
But in 2021, we said enough. Philip J. Pierre and the St. Lucia Labour Party turned things around. Debt is down. Unemployment is at record lows. And for the first time ever, workers have a decent minimum wage. Don't let the United Workers' Party wreck it again. Keep St. Lucia working. On December 1st, vote the St. Lucia Labour Party.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
Lucilec averti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone Sala. Mi an ti commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Kouye Lucilec avant ou trim et ben couper pied bois qui poué ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas vini moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
Tired of sky-high bills and a planet on the brink? It's time to go green without burning your pockets. At First National Bank, we are here to make saving the planet affordable. Whether you're installing solar panels, purchasing a water tank, upgrading to an inverter AC, or buying a hybrid vehicle, we've got the green to help you go green. Fast approval, low interest rates, and Mother Nature approved. Your future self will thank you. Visit firstnationalbankonline.com or call 455-7000 for more information to help you turn your green dreams into clean realities. First National Bank, here for you.
Ho, ho, ho. I had a dream that I, Santa, will be giving away amazing gifts this Christmas at Europa Hardware in Massad Grosile. I saw a Karcher pressure washer, a vacuum cleaner, steel brush cutters, Metabo power tools, even a welding machine, tile cutter, and Leo water pump. Just spend $500 or more between now and December 19, 2025. And your name and number goes into the box to be drawn. Christmas couldn't be better. Only Europa is making things so merry. Ho, ho, ho. It's not a dream, it's a fact. Shop at Europa Hardware. Call us at 452-0763. Europa, we service what we sell.
The season is here at KFC. It's Christmas in every way. Grab a festive feast bucket or festive feast box today. And every time you purchase, you have chances to win. Day passes, vouchers, jewelry, and appliances all tucked in. Dipping wings, crispy chicken, biscuits, and sodas all inside. Fries and coleslaw, we spreading joy island-wide. Or choose the festive feast box with a big crunch inside. With chicken, fries, and soda, that's magic we can't hide.
It's KFC, finger licking good. This promotion has been approved by the National Lotteries Authority of St. Lucia.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE-certified MRI technology.
and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
This Christmas, Flow's making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $29. Plus, we're giving you 50% off your mobile bill. And win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
Since it's nice, we're doing it twice. Clock out and clock into courts. November 28th, it's Black Friday reloaded.
The following is a paid political advertisement.
St. Lucia, this is it. The moment every supporter, every community, every believer in change and progress has been waiting for. On Saturday, November 29th, the United Workers' Party hosts its final rally. The last great gathering before we decide our nation's future on December 1st. This isn't just another meeting. It's a countdown to victory. From Crozulay to Vieux-Fort, from the valleys of Dennery to the hills of Soufrière, every supporter, every youth, every patriot is called together in one mighty wave of yellow. Come hear the vision, come feel the energy, come show the strength of a people ready to restore competence, opportunity, and real development. This Saturday, 7 p.m., Lafargue Choiseul. Yellow is the code, and this is the countdown to victory.
I don't judge anybody by where they live, their standard of living, or what they have in life. I always make it a point to tell them thank you, to hug them, and show genuine care. My constituents know that about me, that we don't shake hands, we hug, we kiss. We speak about their family first, not about politics. They know that I genuinely care about them because I love people. And I appreciate when people can come to me to ask me to be able to help. I want everybody to know that Uncle Shas cares and loves you. They've seen me in action, whether it's a kid that needs shoes, a kid that needs tablets, a kid who needs a new football to put on a summer camp. That whatever I do, it is always about people, uplifting people, inspiring people, and helping to give people strength. That's who I am. That's from my mother. She went through her fair share of oppression and tough times, but she never lost her heart. In fact, all those things made her heart bigger, and I'm so grateful that I've gotten that from her. We have to love and believe in our country, St. Lucia.
This was a paid political advertisement.
I have a statement by youth activist Mr. David Henry. Stand by for this as we're getting to conclude our broadcast.
You make up 60% of the voting population and no one cared to address you. And so I chose to speak up now because I wanted to ensure that my message to you comes from a place that is non-partisan, honest, and focused solely on youth. That is what I offer you as a candidate for the national Youth Council of St. Lucia. Leadership that serves young people first and only. Recently, I have received messages from young leaders in St. Vincent expressing their satisfaction that their voices were heard. Their ideas were listened to, and their priorities were reflected in the manifestos of the various parties. And I congratulate them for accomplishing that, and I wish their country well. They are already looking forward to our National Youth Council strengthening youth leadership across the region, especially within the Caribbean Regional Youth Council. And I intend for St. Lucia to play its role. But today I must speak from the heart because what I feel is deep concern. As someone who works every day with young people and as someone who loves this country's youth, especially our children, it pains me to say that our youth system has suffered from neglect. And when I say system, I am referring to the National Youth Council and our district youth and sports councils. And the spaces where young people should be empowered, supported, and represented. For far too long, the National Youth Council has been under-resourced, under-supported, and at times inactive. The National Youth Council is no longer in existence for a year now, embarrassingly. Many district youth and sports councils have struggled or died. Too many young people feel like their voices do not matter. Too many feel unseen and too many feel unheard. And I hear you. I hear your frustration. I hear your anger. I hear your disappointment. And this is not about blame. This is about responsibility. Our collective responsibility to protect the institutions that represent young people and to rebuild what was weakened and to restore trust in a system that was created to serve you, the young people of St. Lucia. All I want for you is fairness. When I speak about fairness, I am speaking about something simple but powerful. Fairness is effort matching opportunity. Fairness is young people getting the support they earn and deserve. Fairness is equal access to development, not equal outcomes. Fairness is responsibility and the confidence society places in its youth. Fairness is building a future where our children are not burdened by the decisions that these leaders make in the House of Parliament today. This is the foundation I want us to rebuild on. And as your potential and incoming National Youth Council President, my role is not to wait on anyone to come to us. My role is to advocate, organize, and mobilize, and ensure that the National Youth Councils become strong, active, and a respectful partner in national development. I am not here to be comfortable. I am here to work. And the upcoming elections is a serious matter. It is the one of the few moments where young people have the power to shape their future. This is the time to think about your life, your family, your community, your children, and the generations that will come after. To the incoming government, whoever you are, or whoever you may be, I have one message to come across to you. I have only one mission, and it is not to be friends with you. It is to teach you how to rethink youth, So the disrespect of the office of the Prime Minister, not meeting once with the National Youth Council within their 2-year term, or the Minister for Youth Development and Sports only meeting once for a short meeting over the 2-year span of the outgoing National Youth Council will never repeat itself. Many of you have told me no one listens, no one cares, we cannot fix it, we don't matter. Many of us hide behind our jobs, especially those who have been there, like the last executive who work for government and are afraid that they lose their jobs, that they get victimized in the name of representing you and your interests and your voice by young people of St. Lucia. I am a contracted police officer, just like many of you young youth who work within the essential health, the essential services of this country. And my job will not prevent me from advocating for you. And I want to remind you, the young people, of something very important. The only day when your voice is feared the most by politicians is on election day. So vote. Vote for your future. Vote for the fairness you want to see. Vote with strength, vote with clarity, vote with pride in who you are as a St. Lucian person, because it is your right. Regardless of who you support, make your vote count. Make your voice count. Make your presence felt, and make your vote speak on your behalf.
Youth activist David Henry, and addressing the youth of St. Lucia ahead of the island's next general election. We're getting all set to conclude our broadcast. Let us hear from Amanda what's happening in the chat room, and then we'll have our NewsSpin news of the day, and maybe a clip that might just cause you to laugh a bit.
Tim, someone says here via Facebook, election is around the corner. Wayne Girard is coming out of his hole. Someone says here, vote any politician and political party that refuses to give answers to questions from the citizenry out. You are not owed any vote for being arrogant. And NewsSpin says here, I am not sure if this has happened before, but are the mental patients and patients at the hospitals allowed to vote? And if so, do you think this is right? Commentary says, I am asking St. Lucians to vote for UWP because he delivered with his 2016 manifesto. 5 for 5, we saw it, and we enjoyed it. And I know he will deliver and bring that relief for the most vulnerable people who has been struggling under Philip J. Pierre and the Labour Party's high taxes. I can't wait for Monday to cast my vote for the United Workers' Party so that 7 SOS policies can take effect immediately. A NewsSpinner says our SLPs are shooting themselves in the foot with these underhanded strategies. Another commentator says, I believe St. Lucians are tired of the hate, racism and division spewed by the SLP. A NewsSpinner says via Facebook, Tim, what is in place for blind people and hearing impaired? Another commentator says, no wonder it is taking 5 hours to cast your vote. With this long process, people have to go through. My God, St. Lucia is so backwards. Another commentary reads, after December 1st, my hope is that the elected winners remember they represent every citizen of St. Lucia, not just their party supporters. The toxic and the divisive attitudes must end. The focus should be on uniting us and building a stronger nation, not continuing toxic, harmful behavior. People need to remember that politicians are not responsible for their well-being. They are. A neighbor will come to you. Will come to your aid far quicker than a politician ever could. So let's choose kindness, support one another, and build stronger communities together. Someone says there via Facebook, if we have a party telling the people that we cannot get health coverage, our sweet St. Lucia needs help. Someone says there, why is the voting process so slow? Is that a tactic to frustrate voters? And is that an indication of what will be happening on Monday? Someone says they're on election day. I hope people make the right decision after election. We the people have to take time to reflect on our behaviors because there is lots of hatred and division amongst us. Time to reflect. Someone says there, but if they're confident of winning, why behave like hooligans? Someone says there, I have yet to hear from the Prime Minister come out and speak to his supporters to behave themselves, despite signing a code of conduct of behavior. Someone says their SLPs are short-sighted. They can't see past the tip of their noses. Shake my head. Government without a plan and vision, we are doomed with labor. Commentator says, to all those in authority, I will say, please let's make it a fair and safe, transparent election, leaving no doubts in the minds of voters. And to all voters and St. Lucians, I say please remember that no matter the outcome of the election, at the end of the day, the government elected will be a government of St. Lucia and all St. Lucians. So let's respect each other's opinions. A few comments here via YouTube. It says, it's very funny that Ernest Taylor never came out to address the people when he had to. CIP, for example. Someone says there, look who's talking. We are still waiting on the CIP reports. You have 2 more days. We are waiting, Ernest Taylor. Somebody says there, farewell, Mr. Gonzalez. You served St. Vincent well. Growing up through the years, I remember you as a very vibrant and firebrand leader. Your vocabulary was impeccable. Someone says, I love yourself enough to vote for your country, growth and development, and not for catchy slogans and people looking for pity. Commentary via YouTube, it reads, I just wish we had a debate between the leaders because I have questions for both of them. And the NewsSpinner says there via the YouTube chat room, rise to all independence. 2030 independence will make a difference. APA lead the charge. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that final update ahead of Monday's general election. A WhatsApp message, somebody says, there are some smart heckling of the police officers, particularly the new officers by some senior officers, reminding them that they are on contract and that those officers should remember who hired them. They are meeting them on their way to the voting station, and of course, that is illegal. Continuing, the person says, Tim, the wait is embarrassingly long for the voting. People who were there from morning are still on the line. And maybe you'll find this clip funny. And it's by Leonard Spider Montuta, comment that he made earlier this week.
Pierre is touting that as a boy. The United Workers' Party is crumbling, the sky is falling because all the big fishes of the United Workers' Party coming to Labour. I mean, what? You get a couple of sardine Sally again, not even fresh sardine Sally. And I say so, because those guys are not any big fishes in the party. If they would have been candidates. Number 2, I say they are sardine Sally because they're all salty, having lost their bid to become candidates. They are salty. So they found refuge there. Okay? So when you talk about big fish and there's no big fish coming. Okay? Let Pierre stay out there fishing. Okay? Because, what you're talking about on calling big fish is those small fish we just use for bait. to bait the Labour Party. Tweet. Philip Pierre is touting that as a boy. The United Workers' Party is crumbling, the sky is falling because all the big fishes of the United Workers' Party coming to Labour. I mean, what? You get a couple of sardine Sally again, not even fresh sardine Sally. And I say so, because those guys are not any big fishes in the party. If they would have been candidates. Number 2, I say they are sardine Sally because they're all salty, having lost their bid to become candidates. They are salty. So they found refuge there. Okay? So when you talk about big fish and there's no big fish coming. Okay? Let Pierre stay out there fishing. Okay? Because, what you're talking about on calling big fish is those small fish we just use for bait. to bait the Labour Party. Tweet.
Finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. Hong Kong police arrest construction firm bosses over fire. Death toll hits 94 with some missing. Once again, the NewsSpin news of the day. Hong Kong police arrest construction firm bosses over fire. Death toll hits 94 with some more missing. That is the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Monday, of course, is election day. We have to curtail our programming because we do not want to give any of the candidates or political parties any kind of unfair advantage, as according to the Elections Act. What we can say, go out there and vote and vote and vote. I should be the first person on the line in a particular constituency to cast my ballot because I have a long day ahead of me on election day. I'll be hosting NewsSpin and taking calls from you who would be participating in the electoral process in various parts of the island. Hope you could be my eyes and my ears, and we hope to have a very productive election program on Monday of next week. And we hope again that this will be done in a very orderly and lawful manner. We want everyone who is eligible to vote, go out there and vote for the candidate of your choice, the party of your choice, and then we'll count the ballot and determine who is victorious, whether it is a particular party, who are the candidates who are victorious, whether it's independent candidates or candidates who are vying for the SLP or the UWP. Be safe in the process. Also, don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Once again, have yourself a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.